moment of death marks a profound transformation for the soul, initiating a journey of unparalleled significance. This transition begins with the severing of the silver cord, the energetic link connecting soul and body throughout life. Described in both ancient mystical texts and contemporary near-death experiences, this cord anchors the life force within the physical form. When the body can no longer sustain the soul, whether due to illness, injury, or the natural process of aging, the cord releases its hold and the soul commences its departure from the dense vibrational field of matter. This process is entirely self-governed. No external force compels or judges the soul. Its progression is dictated solely by its energetic frequency and inherent readiness to move on. The universe functions according to the principle of vibrational resonance, attracting souls to realities and beings that harmonize with their inner state. Souls prepared for enlightenment effortlessly gravitate towards it. Those carrying denser energies may briefly linger in transitional realms, always under the compassionate guidance of benevolent helpers. At this sacred juncture, the soul stands at the threshold of a vast and awe-inspiring odyssey, the interlife journey, traversing the realms between earthly incarnations. Death is not an ending, but a doorway opening onto a new dimension. It's the first breath in an expanded reality, a reawakening to a greater truth that was never truly absent, only temporarily obscured from memory. After departing the physical body, the soul embarks on its passage through the astral planes, expansive energetic dimensions structured by vibration and consciousness rather than physical geography. Souls navigate these realms via astral bridges, their experience ranging from effortless and light to arduous and heavy, depending on the soul's emotional and spiritual clarity. Souls imbued with love, forgiveness, and acceptance traverse these bridges with ease. Those burdened by anger, regret, or attachment may struggle, becoming ensnared in denser regions. The first significant encounter in the astral is with the soul's own emotional residue. Freed from physical distractions, the soul fully experiences its unresolved emotions, or conversely, its inner peace. The astral plane serves as a perfect mirror, instantly reflecting the soul's true inner nature. Many souls then transit through intermediate realms, transitional spaces known by various names across different traditions, such as the bardo or purgatory, where they rest, contemplate, and heal. Some souls pass through swiftly, while others remain longer, processing emotional wounds or unfulfilled desires. Throughout this journey, souls often receive assistance from soul receivers or light beings, compassionate guides who communicate through pure thought and feeling, offering solace and support. Not all souls progress smoothly. Some become earthbound spirits, clinging to the physical world due to intense attachments. Yet, even these souls are not forsaken. Guides persistently work to facilitate their healing and onward progression. Crucially, no external entity judges the soul. Its experiences are entirely shaped by its vibrational state, in accordance with the law of resonance. The soul, in essence, crafts its own reality within the astral realms. As the soul ascends, it releases heavier attachments. Memories of pain and personal identity soften, allowing reconnection with its deeper intrinsic truth. It is a timeless, divine traveler on an eternal voyage of self-growth. By the conclusion of this phase, the soul is prepared for its next significant step, confronting and comprehending the complete narrative of its life, culminating in profound insight and transformation. Once the astral realms have been traversed and the immediate emotional remnants of earthly life shed, the soul enters a series experiences, shaped by the soul's maturity, history, and vibrational resonance. The initial stage is often characterized by a sense of shock. Even for souls anticipating death, the transition can prove overwhelming. The abrupt shift from the dense material world to an expansive, boundless plane of existence evokes a sense of wonder, yet also temporary disorientation. During this phase, guides and loved ones often appear, surrounding the soul with familiar comfort and love, assisting its anchoring within this new reality. Gradually, the soul acclimates to the absence of gravity, linear time, and the physical senses. It begins to understand that thought becomes its primary mode of movement, communication, and creation. Following the initial shock, the soul enters the orientation phase. In this stage, the soul receives gentle guidance towards understanding its new environment. It may be led to structures resembling learning centers, resting places, or gardens of healing light. These environments are not physical in the earthly sense, but possess remarkable vividness and tangibility for the soul. Orientation often involves encounters with personal spirit guides, who lovingly remind the soul of its eternal nature and reassure it that nothing has been lost, only transformed. Many souls during this time are shown glimpses of their spiritual families, groups of souls with whom they've journeyed across countless lifetimes. The subsequent, and perhaps most profound stage, is the life review. This phase is not an externally imposed judgment, but a compassionate self-assessment conducted in the presence of loving guides. The soul revisits its entire life in vivid detail, experiencing each event not only from its own perspective, but also from the perspectives of those it affected. Moments of kindness, cruelty, indifference, and love are felt profoundly and directly. If the soul inflicted pain, it now feels that pain as if it were its own. If it inspired joy, it feels that joy amplified across time. This experience is often described as both overwhelming and deeply transformative, allowing the soul to grasp the full implications of its actions, not through guilt or punishment, but through empathetic understanding. During the life review, the soul interacts with the Akashic mirrors, energetic records containing every thought, action, and intention throughout its lifetimes. These mirrors are not cold recordings, but living reflections of the soul's journey, imbued with the emotional and spiritual weight of every decision. Through this sacred process, the soul witnesses how each small choice created ripples, affecting countless lives in ways it could never have fully comprehended while incarnate. This realization frequently triggers a deep and enduring transformation within the soul, fostering a desire for growth, the rectification of imbalances, and greater alignment with unconditional love. Following the life review, the soul enters the healing phase. Here, the soul enters spaces best described as healing temples or spheres of light. Within these spaces, the soul is enveloped in energies that restore and revitalize its subtle bodies, cleansing away traumas, regrets, and emotional scars accumulated during earthly life. Spirit technicians, highly evolved beings skilled in energetic healing, assist in this process. They mend fragmented aspects of the soul's energy field and help the soul reintegrate parts of itself that may have been wounded or suppressed. In this phase, the soul experiences profound rest, often immersing itself in fields of pure color, sound, and light that nourish it at a level far exceeding anything imaginable in physical form. The reflection phase naturally follows healing. In this stage, the soul contemplates its growth, lessons learned, and the deeper significance of its earthly experiences. It may reconnect with its soul group or spiritual council to discuss the evolution of its consciousness. This phase is often characterized by profound feelings of gratitude, humility, and an expanded sense of oneness with all of existence. The soul recognizes that every experience, even those filled with pain and suffering, served a purpose in the grand scheme of its development. Finally, the soul reaches the integration phase. Here, the wisdom and growth gained from the recent incarnation are integrated into the deeper fabric of the soul's eternal being. This is not a forgetting of earthly life, but rather a transformation of that life into pure understanding and strength. The soul now carries these new qualities into its higher essence, preparing for whatever path it may choose next. Whether this path involves returning to Earth, exploring higher dimensions, or assuming new roles within the spiritual realms, the soul moves forward with enhanced awareness, compassion, and purpose. Throughout these stages, the soul is never abandoned or left adrift. At every moment, it is surrounded by beings of light, love, and wisdom, whose sole purpose is to guide its journey homeward. Death is not an end, but a gateway to a more expansive, richer existence, where the soul is lovingly guided to remember who and what it truly is, an immortal expression of divine consciousness, ever growing, ever evolving, ever loved. After completing the stages of healing, reflection, and integration following its earthly life, the soul stands at the threshold of another great mystery, preparing for a new incarnation. This process is far from arbitrary. It is a deliberate, intricate, and profoundly sacred unfolding that takes place within the spiritual realms, overseen by the soul's guides, elders, and its own higher self. The first step is the clarification of intent. The soul, in consultation with its spiritual guides and a council of wise beings, often called the Council of Elders, reviews the lessons it most desires to explore, heal, or master in its next life. These intentions are not chosen lightly. They reflect a deep yearning within the soul to expand its wisdom, balance energies from previous incarnations, or participate in broader cosmic purposes such as collective evolution. Sometimes, the soul seeks to experience unconditional love, forgiveness, courage, creativity, or leadership. Other times, it chooses to resolve karmic imbalances, debts incurred, or wounds it seeks to heal. Once the soul's intentions are clear, it undertakes the profound task of selecting its new parents. Contrary to popular belief, souls are not randomly assigned to families. They are drawn by resonance, by the vibrational qualities, genetic lineage, emotional dynamics, and life circumstances of potential parents. Parents provide the initial environment, the biological vessel, and the early emotional templates that will either challenge or support the soul's intended growth. Some souls choose parents who will nurture them with love and stability. Others courageously choose parents who will be distant, harsh, or even abusive, knowing that overcoming these early challenges will catalyze significant soul growth. This is one of the most difficult concepts to grasp from a human perspective. But from the soul's viewpoint, every experience ultimately serves the purpose of awakening. Simultaneously, the soul often participates in the selection of siblings and extended family. These beings, too, are not random, but usually members of the soul's larger spiritual family, souls with whom it has incarnated countless times before in various roles. A brother in this life may have been a rival in another, a sister, a beloved mentor, a mother, once a student. Together, these souls form intricate karmic webs, assisting one another's evolution through love, conflict, support, and challenge. Before birth, agreements are made at the soul level. I will help you learn patience. You will help me discover my strength. We will mirror each other's wounds so we can heal them. As part of this intricate design, the soul also plans key encounters with soulmates and twin flames. Soulmates are souls with whom we share deep bonds of love and mutual support across many lifetimes. They can manifest as romantic partners, lifelong friends, mentors, or even brief but pivotal acquaintances. These meetings are rarely accidental. They are orchestrated through soul contracts designed to trigger growth, healing, or the remembrance of one's deeper truth. Twin flames, on the other hand, represent an even more profound connection, often described as two halves of the same original soul, separated long ago to experience individuality and later seeking reunion. Meeting a twin flame in a lifetime is rare and often tumultuous, for the mirror they hold up is total and uncompromising. The soul must be prepared for the intense transformation such a meeting demands, and not every lifetime is suited for it. Therefore, before birth, a soul may choose whether or not to initiate such a monumental encounter. Another crucial aspect of pre-birth planning is the life path and vocation. Contrary to the human belief that careers are merely economic choices or accidents of circumstance, the soul often selects vocations that will place it in environments where its chosen lessons can unfold. A soul seeking to learn compassion may become a healer, teacher, or caregiver. A soul seeking to explore power and responsibility may be drawn to leadership roles. Some souls choose paths of hardship to awaken dormant gifts within themselves. For example, an artist born into poverty who must overcome obstacles to express beauty to the world. Even failures, from a human perspective, often serve a deeper success from the soul's viewpoint, fostering humility, perseverance, or spiritual awakening. Importantly, all these choices are made with free will and deep wisdom, but also with the understanding that once incarnated, the soul will forget much of its plan. Earth is a realm of free will and veiled memory. Part of the soul's courageous journey is the willingness to embrace this forgetfulness and rediscover its truth through experience, choice, and inner seeking. The soul knows that it may stray from its path, encounter unexpected detours, and even create new karmic entanglements. Yet, it also knows that every experience will ultimately be gathered into the treasury of its eternal growth. Once the soul has finalized its life blueprint, including major life challenges, opportunities, relationships, and exit points, it prepares for the most sacred moment, the descent into incarnation. In this final stage before birth, the soul is blessed, strengthened, and often given a final vision of its higher purpose. Then, with immense love and courage, it moves toward the gateway of physical life, ready to dive once more into the beautiful, perilous, and transformative experience of human existence. As the soul matures through endless cycles of death, rebirth, and transcendence, it engages deeper aspects of existence understood by mystics and masters. One profound truth revealed at higher levels of awareness is the existence of simultaneous lives, multiple lifetimes happening concurrently across past, present, and future, outside the confines of linear time. A soul may simultaneously live in ancient Egypt, modern Tokyo, and even distant future worlds, each as a projection of the same greater self. These experiences mutually influence one another across the soul's broader field, demonstrating that evolution is holographic, multidimensional, and multi-temporal. Another sacred truth is the distinction between voluntary and necessary reincarnations. Early in its journey, a soul must reincarnate out of necessity to resolve karma and learn vital lessons. But as the soul ascends in wisdom and love, it gains accelerated learning, often as spiritual teachers, healers, inventors, or quiet beacons of light. These lives are the most challenging and transformative. At the culmination of pre-birth preparation comes the moment of descent, the sacred instant when the soul merges with the developing fetus. This fusion is gradual, typically occurring between the 3rd and 7th month of pregnancy. As the soul weaves consciousness into the growing body, it's an act of immense tenderness and courage. The soul narrows itself, accepts limitation, and voluntarily steps into separation for deeper growth. At descent, the soul briefly glimpses its past lives, spirit loved ones, and its true vastness before these memories are veiled, awaiting future awakening through dreams, spiritual practices, or inner realization. Thus, the cycle of death, rebirth, and evolution continues, from infinite to finite, from knowing to forgetting, all in service of embodying deeper love, wisdom, and the soul's divine origin.